What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 29th edition of the BDE Sports Talk podcast show with your hosts, Bill, Dean, and Eddie. And with us this week is special guest of the show, who is an avid sports fan, a registered dietitian nutritionist, who lives in Cali, but her heart's in Detroit, Dodie RDN. Dodie, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Hey.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling like I'm fighting off something again. There's a lot of germs in the air. But other than that, coming off a good win on Sunday, feeling good. Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on this week. Fellas, it's good to see you guys. We'll just get right into it. Dean, how was your weekend? And what do you got for us this weekend?
It was pretty good. I bought a new driver last week, and it came in on Saturday. So
what's his name?
Max.
Former F1 Formula One driver.
Formula One driver.
Wow, good for you.
It's a real love.
Dean's up to the buying people stage now.
Yeah.
Whoa. Just drivers and butlers.
That's it. So yeah, I got that over the weekend, so I was pretty jacked about that. And then went with Bill to a Filipino party with mom or whatever.
Oh, nice.
With mom or whatever.
Whatever. I was there for Bill. I wasn't there for her at all.
Neat.
But yeah, that was fun. And then I just kind of hung out on Sunday. So,
anything interesting? The dodo making a comeback, or the dodo bird after the mammoth?
Oh. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't,
Dean was talking last week about how the mammoth was making a comeback.
Huh.
Yeah. That's a real thing. Why doesn't everybody think I'm crazy? This is just a video I saw. It's not like I'm like, no, I have the science.
Dean is the Jurassic Park guy with the eggs. Trying to make mammoths in his bedroom.
I have the Barbasol can of shaving cream.
Actually, as I was looking out, because I knew the dodo was extinct, the dodo bird, but they actually are trying to de-extinct it now. I just read that. So,
but I'm the crazy one,
You read it in the Daily Globe.
Yeah. Yeah, I get my
Nostradamus predicted this. Eddie, what was your takeaway from the weekend?
My take from the weekend, man, so many takes. Such a weekend. I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, I just pretty normal. I was just out doing stuff on the weekend, nothing crazy. I think the one story that's stuck with me, that's kind of bled into this week was, you guys know I've worked in government and politics for quite some time now. And so the George Santos thing, do you guys know anything about that? The congressman, he just got expelled from Congress.
Saw that.
And I just thought like some of his lies were pretty good because the dude like literally has lied about everything. I mean, it really is to a point where people don't know like what is actually real other than the stuff they've proved that's wrong. So like I just wrote down some of my favorites. You start down real easy. Like he lied about where he went to high school. Like he went that far. Lied about where he went to college. A lot of people did this in 2020 where he lied and collected like over $24,000 in unemployment benefits, which he wasn't unemployed at the time. He's got an indictment for identity theft. I mean, these are the light ones, right? And then he laundered $50,000 from his campaign accounts to his personal accounts, where he made purchases at Sephora. He got some Botox done, and also, of course, some minor purchases at OnlyFans. Which, if you're gonna launder cash, You might as well get a little OnlyFans in.
Might as well get some OnlyFans.
And that's just the light stuff. You know, I mean, he stole money from a disabled vet who was trying to get surgery for his dying dog. He ripped off an Amish dog breeder with a bad check before. The dude even lied about his mom's death being related to 9/11. I mean, yeah, like, he said like she was in the South Tower on, like, he went as far to say his mom was in the South Tower on 9/11. And like records proved, yeah. Oh, they did. She was in Brazil during that time. Some of this stuff was like stuff he said before he got elected too. Like, he just flew under the radar, and he thought he'd get away with it. He literally said he thought he'd get away with it because nobody fact checked him in 2020 when he originally said a lot of this stuff, and then he said it again. 9/11. With that's solid. And then to top it off, I mean, you know, if you're gonna go 9/11, you got to go with the Holocaust also. You know, he claimed his grandparents fled from the Nazis in World War II. But that was proven not true also. And he's also like made Jewish jokes because he says he had like Jewish heritage, but he's not Jewish at all. Like, dude, you gotta have some nuts, man. I mean, to reference 9/11 and the Holocaust, steal money from disabled vets
and Amish people. He's like, I would have gotten away with it too if it had been for you damn
campaign
kids.
cash and OnlyFans.
Wow.
And to think you're just gonna get away with all of it, dude. I mean, whew.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's the worst person or deserves to go in the Hall of Fame, dude. I just that was one thing. I was like, okay, now that he's been expelled, I need to find. That's only like, that's not even half of the stuff he's said that's been proven not true.
right.
If you ever have time to read any of his stuff, man, it's pretty. It's wild.
Yeah.
That's
But those are
nuts.
just some of the highlights.
Nuts.
That's hilarious.
Those are the highlights.
It's so much less stressful to go through life not lying.
Yeah.
Oh no, half of it's worked out pretty good.
Oh man. Dodie, you have anything interesting from the weekend?
Let's see here. The weekend before, we were at the F1 race. Speaking of drivers,
Ooh, nice.
yeah, we
Yeah,
did. go to-
Dean.
Was it my boo?
It was kind
Max
of
Verstappen is your
that was for birthday gift in a way. But last weekend, let's see here. My girlfriend who lives out here from Bay City originally, who is my little Detroit comrade. She's a Spartan though, not a U of M fan at all. Hates U of M.
smart lady.
Yeah, she is the one that threw an octopus in Anaheim at a game out here with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Smuggling it in, and she threw it. Kindergarten teacher. It was a birthday party over the weekend, so every year I go to this thing, and then the next day is just like, and I went to bed at 4. Some of these people didn't even go to bed, and it's a pub crawl, and I didn't go to the very last stop, and I went to bed at 4 because I had my other show, and then I woke up to do that show, and I decided to lay down while they got started, and I never woke back up.
I'm just gonna rest for a little bit.
You could hear like girls gossiping in the background. I kept seeing JP walk back and forth, and
You're like, is that JP or Cade Cunningham? I don't even know.
Number 2 jersey. Yeah, that was my Saturday night naughty Santa pub crawl is what they call it. I just wore my Detroit Lions stuff and my Detroit Lions furry boots, getting ready for Sunday.
Heck
So,
yeah.
I would have wore my naughty Santa gear.
That's what all the girls do.
And Bill. Well, that's fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. I did not do that. I I went to that Christmas party, which was fun. It was a lot of culture, a lot of Filipino culture in there. Yeah, it was a great time. It was pretty much my weekend. The other thought I had was, and we'll segue into this, was how crazy it is for the Lions to have 9 wins with games left to go. Right? I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yeah,
That's
like
that's
that
a good
wasn't
point.
week 17 win.
You know? First time since 62. You keep hearing that every week. I told Dean, I said, every game they're going to be like, they're 10-3 for the first time since 62. Yeah, we knew 2 weeks ago, you know?
Yeah.
So,
62 was a hell of a year.
It was.
So yeah, no, let's get into the game on Sunday. Lions win 33-28. Like we said, moves them to 9-3 on the year. If I can pull up the box score here real quick. Team stat. We'll do play. Goff was 16-25 for 213 and 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs was 8 carries, 60 yards. David Montgomery, 18 carries, 56 yards and a touchdown. Jameson Williams, the 19-yard reverse for a touchdown.
20 mile an hour too.
Yeah, he flew.
Yeah, he's fine.
Derek Carr,
They said,
17
in that,
go ahead.
I guess he's got the most runs on average over 20 miles an hour in the last like year and a half or something. I saw some weird stat about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Thought it'd be like Tyreek Hill.
it's like, don't dive in the air when you're going that fast.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hurt, man.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
Or he'll just fly out of the stadium.
He just jumps to the stands from the 5-yard line.
Derek Carr was 17-22, 226, a touchdown, interception. Jameis Winston, or what the announcers kept calling it, the Jameis experience. 2 of 5 for 41 yards. Taysom Hill was 0 for 2. Taysom Hill also was the team's leading rusher with 59 yards and a touchdown. Kamara had 51 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Chris Olave had 119 yards on only 5 catches. So real quick for me, great win. Take them out and get them. You keep seeing the message boards with Lions fans. I'm about to just leave them all because it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if they'll win a Super Bowl and they'll be like, oh, they should have won by 20. So NFL wins a win. I'll take it one step closer to a division title. First time since 62, right?
Yeah.
No.
Just keep saying that.
Yeah. Just
Since
set
62.
the record. We'll start with Dean. Dean, we'll start with you. How do you feel?
I mean, obviously early on in the game, it was great. The first 5 minutes of the game or whatever, they're up 21-0. They go up big early, and you're like, I remember, and Bill came up to me and was like, hey, they might put up 60 today. And I'm like,
Yeah,
man, at this point, I was like, it's 21-0. Yeah. I was like, just keep the throttle down. And then they just kind of went into neutral, and they were playing not to lose at that point, which is fine if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 21-0. But in the middle of the first quarter, you're already slowing down like you've already won the game. These guys are kind of just lulling, you know what I mean? Just relaxing a little bit too much when they should just be, competition the entire time. Either way, I felt they played well. Laporta was awesome, obviously. Big day for him. I've said it before, like tight end's one of the hardest positions to play because you have to know everything, kind of like a quarterback in a sense, And defense wasn't great, but I didn't think they played that bad considering they were in a 4-2-5 base the entire game. we've talked about it before. They're not really bringing a lot of pressure. They're just rushing out those 4 guys. And then, but they made plays when they needed to. That fumble, that interception by Brian Branch, those were huge. If they didn't get those, who knows how that game goes. So
that fumble especially, huh?
Yeah, right towards the end. And then obviously, I think if Derek Carr going down was helpful because Jameis couldn't get him that first down to where they had to punt at the end. And then then you look at these guys are going down. I don't know if you guys saw this, but McNeil went down. He's on the IR right now, which sucks for him, and the team and for him especially, mostly because, he's having a breakout year. It's year 3, contracts probably coming up. Now he's, what's going to happen with him. So, overall, yeah. And then they signed Tyson Alau. Veteran presence. Definitely more of a run stopper type of guy these days, but he can get it done when asked to. I think they're going to be depending on Paschal and Kaminsky a lot going forward. So we'll see how it goes. Overall, I was happy they won. Like Bill said, it's the NFL, so you can't expect them to win by 30 every game. These guys are good. Regardless if they're on a bad team,
on
they're
the
all
road.
good. Yeah, on the road too. But
yeah, I agree. Eddie, what info you got for us this week?
I got a little info. The PFF grades, obviously, but the only thing I would say about the game, we're up 21-zip, and I was saying, because this goes into stuff that we've talked about before, is Carr completed a couple passes, and I was like, oh shoot, he found the holes in the zone, and I said to who I was watching it with, I was like, it's gonna be tight moving forward because they found the holes in the zone, and AG isn't changing the scheme. Like he's gonna sit where they're at. That's the only gripe I have with Glenn. The scheme started out great. We saw it, 21-0. He knew what we were doing there against a non-mobile quarterback. He's good to go, and they put it out there. But Carr's good enough and has enough experience to be like, okay, here are the holes, and he's got good enough receivers to do that. And we saw the results from there. So that was the only thing. It's just the same thing concerns me. It's just where we hold the same line the whole game, and it's like, man, it's more than a 1 or 2 adjustment game. We said that a week, 2 weeks ago, whatever. And it concerns me moving forward, especially even next week. But, that being said, I like some of the things we saw. Obviously, the PFF, the top PFF grade on offense was Laporta. I think that's no surprise. The kid is just...
It's better every week.
Oh, man. After that, it was Sewell, Goff. At the bottom of the offense, you had Sorsdahl, Jonah Jackson, actually David Montgomery after that, which talking about it the other day with some folks that people were wondering why Gibbs didn't get a little more action. He looked like he was firing, man. And, but Monty's going to get his touches, and he should. And even if he's at the bottom of PFF grades, like all that stuff, you got to take it with a grain of salt and move forward with that. But, it seemed like Gibbs was the hot hand. I don't know if hot's right, but it seemed like he was running it a little better.
He had that big run right at first.
Within 5 yards, I still say give it to Monty. But outside of that, Gibbs has got to start seeing a little bit more of the, lion's share of those touches, I think. But,
start treating Monty like they did with Jamal Williams last year. Pretty much just pure goal line,
for sure.
Essentially.
Yeah, get those touchdowns. Good to go.
Well, and then I agree. I didn't think Montgomery looked good at all. Really,
I mean, the numbers say you're right.
Yeah. I didn't get it either. I agree. Dodie, wanted to get your thoughts on Sunday, what you thought, and then I also want to get your thoughts on the past 2 weeks. So, let me get your thoughts on Sunday and what your thoughts were on the game.
Okay. So I was happy they won, of course, or I am happy they won. But a little concerned because it doesn't seem to be the same kind of fire we saw the first game against Kansas City and then the Packer game, the first Packer game. So I am wondering about the psychological aspect of a good team. Like, how do you know when you let up a little bit? Because maybe it's not a team that you just, go all in and burn everything you got, but also having that balance of still having that fire and that drive. You don't get lazy and overconfident. So I wonder if they're trying to figure that out. I don't know.
I think you saw some of that too. Like if you just look at the Eagles and Niners, like the Eagles are riding very high, Niners looking to prove. And I think that kind of highlights what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, does a really good team go in playing a team that's not so good, like as hard, or do you let up a bit? I mean, the Packer game. Oh gosh, the second one, the Thanksgiving day. JP's dad kept saying they look like they ate way too much turkey.
Yeah, and I mean, I was gonna ask, did you get a lot of flack from the family for that?
Oh, that side. Luckily, I was with JP's family, and they're Lions fans. They're Lions fans.
Which is perfect.
From Detroit.
Good call.
Yeah. Smart.
Forever. With his family. My dad was like writing me during the game, like that trick play, the one where it was supposed to be a kick, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
about?
One,
the fake punt.
My dad was like, that was, it was well thought out. Like he was being very positive, but too bad that didn't work. He was being positive.
He's not being really, but he's just giving you crap. He's like, oh, well thought out.
Ideal, really. It just didn't work.
Really good try.
I still had my I have a special Thanksgiving Day shirt that my parents bought me that has the Lions and the Packers on it, and it has a big turkey on it from 2013, I want to say. And 13 or 14, and I was still wearing that actually when I talked to my sister, and she's like, I see you're still in mourning. But I haven't talked so much. We've been busy, I guess. So the game before that, when we were in Vegas for the F1 race, the Bear game, I mean, that was like the skin of our teeth again, like kind of like this game, like, oh gosh, you're lucky.
We haven't got to see you when they were in LA. Did you went to the game?
Oh yes, yes.
What was that? Yeah, what was the atmosphere like?
Fabulous.
Because on TV it felt like it was almost a home game for them.
It was so fun. We got there at 10 a.m. to tailgate, and I mean Detroit people like just coming out of the woodworks. Like it was mostly Detroit people playing cornhole with their Lions cornhole and their Pistons cornhole and just bad boy shirts and like everything you ever imagine. I met a girl from Jackson, Michigan, which is close to that lived out here. It's rare to meet people from Jackson County out here. Usually they're all Detroit,
Right.
But I actually met some from Shepherd once, by the way, at a Tiger game. So that's
got to be pretty rare.
Yeah.
So rare.
Yeah.
His name was Chad Smalley.
That's what I was like. Oh my gosh, you heard this last name before? But we had so much fun. It was honestly one of the best weekends of my life. It was super fun, going with all my Lions friends and then running into others and then one of our girls' friends is a Charger fan, which is, no big deal. She's not like that serious. We just had so much fun. So
you tolerate her?
Yeah, definitely.
That's nice. You like the Chargers. That's really cute.
So
the fans here out here are not like diehard like we are.
Yeah.
so was it as loud as it sounded?
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally.
Because
I mean,
you told us about you've been to SoFi before,
mhm.
and it was kind of like, everyone's kind of nice, and like you just said, there's not a lot like hardcore fans out there when it comes to the Chargers
Right.
and the Rams. So like I can imagine like during those games, like it's probably wasn't as loud as it was when Detroit was there.
Right. No. Yeah, the fans are
crazy.
mediocre. And after the game, everyone's let's go Lions. Let's go. Like the whole crowd leaving. Like everyone
Yeah.
was saying it. And I was doing a little side note, let's go Red Wings. And then this one guy was saying to me, "Oh, look at all the people Lion shirts all of a sudden." Ugh. Like the Charger fan. He's like, a bunch of bandwagon. I'm like, oh, do not even go there.
Shut up, Dan Fouts. There ain't no Chargers thing to celebrate around here.
I was like, I've been a fan since 1990. It was the first game I went to.
Thank you.
I was like, these people do not deserve that for sure. It was just great. I mean, there's so much
That's awesome.
home fun,
Chargers fans are like, let's go Lions, as they're leaving too.
Yeah. They don't hate us for sure. I only hear once in a while, and it's usually from a Packer fan. Like at that party I went to this weekend, one of the guys there was a Packer fan. And we call him Packer Joe. And I go, hey, good win against us on Thanksgiving. He goes, you guys you're supposed to be good. We're not even supposed to be good. I'm like,
I've been hearing stuff like that.
Yes.
It's just so annoying.
To be nice. Like,
we're supposed to be this good.
This team makes me a little nervous too, that Packer team, because I think they deserve to be not so good for longer. And they're already starting to look better.
Yeah.
But
I swear, if Jordan Love is actually this good,
He's got the same exact stats as Aaron Rodgers did.
I'm out. Like that's not right.
Yeah,
that's not right. To go from Favre to Rodgers, and then if Love is as good as like those guys, like that's criminal.
They can draft quarterbacks. That's what it boils down to. It's not like they're taking them number one,
True.
Most of these guys, they have a chance for these guys,
Oh yeah.
They didn't even draft Favre.
Yeah, they traded for him.
No, they had the Magic Man before that.
Yep, the Magic Man. So all right, well, yeah, I was interested to see how that was at SoFi. So let's get into a little bit. I don't have a lot, but a little Red Wings and Pistons check-in. We talk more about the Red Wings than we do the Pistons, for obvious reasons. At the time right now, today's Tuesday, they're up 4-1 after 2.
Red Wings.
Yes, the Red Wings are.
Pistons up 4-1. I mean, that'd be sweet.
After
if they had a
2
lead,
minutes.
that'd be.
Are they playing tonight?
No, tomorrow. They're only 1.5 point underdogs against Memphis tomorrow. So like maybe.
I feel like if you just bet against the Pistons the whole year, you'll just win some money.
That wasn't a parlay I won in a week ago.
The Pistons would lose.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they were playing a good team, so it wasn't like they were gonna win against Memphis. They could win.
Yeah,
but we're setting records this year, baby.
The odds are maybe they will win.
I don't know. Bojan's back. I mean, Dodie and I were talking about it before the recording started. I mean, they looked better against the Cavs than they have. And I think Bojan back makes it. I mean, they just don't have shooters. So having a shooter is good. I did have a stat here if we're getting into the Pistons. Your boy Beefy just jacking up threes that he's not hitting. He's going one for whatever most of the time. And I was looking through it. So during the 17-game losing streak, he's gone one for X amount of times, 10 of those games.
Ugh.
Yes. It's not his fault that they're lost 17 in a row, but this is just part of the problem.
Right.
You add in Killian,
You're right.
who's had a couple good games. But he's just not a starter. Like, if those are your starting, like 2 of your 5 starters, and the other 3 aren't superstars, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my friends from Eastern Michigan. He's a dealer at the Greektown Casino,
Oh,
and we talk sports.
I thought you were a dealer. I was like, whoa,
Dealer, little
I don't-
meth, little
so-
I
pot,
don't know if you want to put him on here
Coke
right
on the
now.
weekends.
She's like, let me give you his last
One of
name,
my
too.
favorites, honestly. So nice. Great
That's the
prices.
nicest dealer ever.
Great prices.
He and I were discussing because I was like, Pistons are bad. He's like, they are young compared to the rest of the NBA. I mean, and he was like, and they just got to stick with the nucleus of Cade Cunningham, Duran, our new guy,
Beef stew.
Thompson.
Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Beef is around. He will be around because we signed that contract.
Yeah.
Checking
He's,
up
But
threes for 3
he'd be
more
a
years.
great 6 man.
I was gonna say he'd be like a scoreless Corliss.
He was perfect for that role.
Yeah.
It's just that's not where the team is, and that really
Unfortunately,
sucks.
he needs to start right now. That's the problem. He's our best option.
It's fine if you have LeBron, Wade, and Bosch. He can start on that team.
Do you ever notice he draws a lot of technicals? I mean, for him. Do you notice that? He does. It's interesting. Beef stew.
He gets
Like,
under
against
people's skin.
Giannis. Yeah.
He gets under Eddie's skin all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
He's not even on
I
the
don't dislike beef stew. I'm just
We have an
being
episode
real
where
about
you-
beef stew.
We have an episode where you do not like beef stew.
court.
I remember you talking about it. I wasn't on that one, but I remember
Yes.
that was in the summer when they were playing. I was like, oh, but right now I'm a little angry myself. I'm like, man, the Pistons are bad.
People are agreeing with my beef stew takes right now.
I was telling Eddie when we were chit-chatting that if they continue at the rate they're going right now, they'll have 10 wins total by the end of the season.
Eddie thought we were gonna have 30.
I thought they would.
When they
flirt
were
with 30 at
2-1
least.
at the beginning of the year, I was like, you know what? They could win 30 because they look good.
No.
The 2 wins they had that they have,
Yeah.
they looked good,
Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
believed in beef stew.
and then just
16 games.
And then they
Gone.
unleashed beef stew.
And then they unleashed beef stew.
Well, what do you guys think of the coach? I think he's great. My dad thinks he's great, but I heard another one of my friends saying that that's the problem. The coach is horrible, doesn't want to coach anymore. I was like, I thought he was really good, coach.
No, I think he's dealing with the hand he's dealt right now. You
Mhm.
know, I mean,
I
don't
would
think.
say. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, I would just say that is probably the reason that they've lost 17 in a row, but it's not because he's bad. It's because they are having a hard time conforming to his style of play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's trying to get them in the right direction. And he was talking just the other week about they need to fight more, they need to play to the end, all that stuff. They're just not. He's a defensive minded first guy, and the defense has been real bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's why Killian has started so much, honestly, because he's just a better defender than some of the other guards. They're not given the effort. And that's what he's looking for. That was the change when he got to Phoenix, was they started defending. And when you have guys who can shoot, which he had there, which we don't have here other than Bojan, when you have guys who can shoot plus defense, you're going to see some success. And I think, you know, he already had, when he got there, Devin Booker was just getting to his second year in Phoenix, you know, and he helped kind of get him along. Yeah, Ayton was just coming along. You know, they had people that were just waiting to get unleashed. And then he just kind of instilled that defensive mindset. And then you play for each other, get to the open guy that can shoot. Success. But right now, even if we have an open guy, that guy can't shoot.
No success.
You know, Beefy's 1 for 8 tonight. Feed him again. You know, like there's it just, that's the thing. It's like before Bojan's come back, I'm not sure they knew who could shoot it from outside the arc. Asar ain't doing it. And he's been our most active. I would almost say best player other than Duran. And he can't do anything outside of the paint.
Sasser can shoot.
You know, like I was talking to Dodie before, and I think she kind of is starting to click a little. It's like this is built like a mid to late 90s basketball team. You know, there's just no shooting. There's a lot of big physical guys who can get down low and can score, but they can't shoot. You know, and they're just waiting on the one guy. Sasser, I wish he got more time.
I do too. Every time I've seen him play, he's putting up numbers. So I don't understand why he doesn't.
He has a couple bad nights, but I mean that's just gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, he's still a rookie. Was he second round?
Yeah. No, they traded up late first.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But he's a big catch and shoot guy, and I think that's kind of how he got hot when he was playing at the beginning of the year. A lot of catch and shoot threes, which was something we highlighted after the draft, and he kind of lived up to that. But yeah, they just don't have the shooting's not there. Clearly, that's pretty obvious. I mean, I think a blind Pistons fan could say, "Hey, they're not shooting." It's just obviously not.
Well,
how about Ivy's shooting? What do you think of?
He's so hot and cold. I think he doesn't get the minutes because of the defense.
Yeah.
His defense has been bad when he was a rookie. It's been not great again, but I think he's starting to try to kind of conform to Monty's system, which gives him a few more minutes. It's just
even a couple starts.
It's time. I mean, Troy Weaver's going to have to leave. Yeah. And I think it's appropriate. You can't have a 17-game. He's a couple games off of the worst start for a GM ever.
Oh, jeez.
He is over the span of time that he's been the GM. He's only if he's not there yet, it was within 10 games of being the worst start for a GM's tenure.
I mean,
dude, if I feel like Stan Van Gundy is a better option at this point,
right?
Time to go, dude.
He's like, we're trading for Blake.
He thought he was making good moves. It seemed like those moves could work out when he was making them, but it obviously was not it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
sad part is it seems like he's getting talented guys. They're just not performing together.
Right.
It's not a well-rounded group. You can't get the same type of guy 10 times in a row.
That's true.
And hope that the other team doesn't clog the paint.
Right.
Because you can't shoot a three.
They got a lot of playmakers and no shooters.
Patrick Ewing doesn't exist anymore in the NBA.
Right.
That's not the NBA anymore. It's Steph Curry, it's Klay Thompson, it's all that. It's Giannis, it's LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a bunch of Durans and beef stews. Which they serve a role. They serve a great
Right.
role.
Dirk could come around.
Yeah.
He's
So
shown a lot of potential.
So from a team that doesn't shoot to a team that does shoot, the Detroit Red Wings. To a team that doesn't have a great GM, to a team that's looking like he knows what he's doing.
Mhm.
The eyes are
Finally.
Yeah.
Hey, it takes time to
You're
create
one of
greatness.
those.
Dude, I was a season off from being very critical of Stevie Y. I gotta be straight up honest with you.
Takes time. Takes time. Right now they're up 4-1 in the third. Man, watching them right now, they're just firing on all cylinders. Playing great hockey. Love to see it. I can't tell who's in goal tonight. I don't know if you guys know.
Hope it's Lion, right?
Yeah.
Right. If it's
Dude.
4-1, it's probably Lion.
Dude, who's
Probably.
Who's giving up at least 2?
I was gonna say the dude just
There's still time.
It's nothing less than
There's still time.
it's nothing less than 2 goals for Husso.
Legit, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, Reimer's the same.
Yeah.
yeah, but he hasn't really played since Lions been.
No, I mean, that's what we've been waiting on.
No, he's played so well. Oh,
Oh, knock on wood, you know.
Yeah. So,
It's not Jesus guy.
I don't know if you guys have any. I just wanted to check in. I know we talk about it every week. Dodie, you got any thoughts on the Red Wings?
Just on this new guy coming in that we just got. That's not so new. It's a little older. They did a whole thing on him today. I didn't realize this was this big of a deal. I'd never heard of the guy before. He was for the Blackhawks before, right?
Oh, Patrick Kane. Yeah.
Like they asked him how you're, going to the rival, and he said he was just following. Oh gosh, what's the guy's name? No,
DeBrincat.
Chelios.
Oh, Chelly. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, oh, Chelly.
I met him one year at the Red Wings blackjack tournament or poker tournament, something like that, at the the Motor City Casino.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I met a whole bunch of them. But yeah, so I'm interested to see this guy. I didn't realize, I don't know the names of NHL players as well as I know NBA or
Sure.
baseball for sure.
fair.
That's 98% of America, I think.
Okay.
So, I don't think you're off.
I'm still learning myself.
JP's like, you got to get a little better in your stats here before you go on the show. But I'm excited to see what this guy does. I mean, he's older. He's just coming off of surgery. Maybe they're looking for a little seniority with the team. Like maybe the Pistons should do that too. I don't know. Sometimes it's good to have that, that mature mind in the
veteran presence.
Yeah. You think that's what they're thinking? What do you know?
I think they're taking a chance on someone who's a great hockey player. That does add veteran presence to it, but I think they're banking on him putting up points for him. We kind of talked about it last week. If he can give them, what did we say, like 40 points? 30, 35, 40 points. That's a success for them.
Huge.
And no, he's a great player. I think if he's on the good end of the surgery, I think they're going to make out pretty well, especially on that deal. And I think if it does work out, I think he stays. I think he truly wants, the way he's talked, I think he truly wants to be in Detroit. And, you've seen that over the years with veterans, right? Brett Hull, Chris Chelios, I think Mike Modano was with the Red Wings for, those types of older vets that just they want to play for Detroit at some point in their career.
Yeah.
And, he's another one to add to the list. So I'm excited to see him. I think everyone's, I'm excited to see him play.
With
God
realistic
willing,
expectations.
yeah. Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm not looking at him to be.
I'm not talking to
Keenan.
you. Just mean in general for any of those out there who are excited about the Red Wings. Like, just,
Yeah.
he's not going to come out there and get a hat trick. All right. I mean, on night 1 or 2 or even 3, just a contributor. But he could. He's got the talent to do it for sure.
Talented enough, yeah.
But
You're
don't
talking
expect anything like that.
You're talking like the same fans that maybe root for the Lions that are like, I don't understand why Bruce Irvin doesn't have 5 sacks.
Dude
I'm talking about
14 plays, So
I'm talking about the fans who were Detroit Rams fans who are now paying attention to the Red Wings. Also, it's okay. He's a Hall of Fame guy. He's a great player. He may not work out, but if he does, I still wouldn't expect him to light the ice on fire. I would plan on him being a solid veteran contributor. And I would just say on top of that is that, that's not really a team of spring chickens either. I think Yzerman's done a good job.
Yeah, true.
It's come together more this year than it has before. I mean, Petrie is older than Kane and almost anybody else on the team. Sprong is getting up there. JT Compher, been around the league. Dylan Larkin's not young anymore either. I mean, in hockey, he's been around 7-8 years.
Yeah, no, true.
Has he really?
So, he's DeBrincat, 6-year vet in the league. So they're not a bunch of kids out there. We got some kids who are up there who are playing really well. Mo Sider's still really young. You have really talented guys. Edvinson hopefully gets up there this year. But there's a good veteran presence in that area. Right. And I think Patty Kane is quite a nice addition to that for sure.
And if nothing else, they can learn a lot from him too. I mean, dude's gonna go down as one of the best players to play, in a
maybe
sense.
The best American-born player ever.
Wow.
Yeah. And as I said, they're not asking him to be, like I said last week, they're not asking him to be Patrick Kane either. They just want they just want like 50% of what he can do. And I think that's good enough for our second line to really turn it around. So, I mean, they don't even really need to turn it around. I mean, they're obviously on fire right now. But
yeah, it is Lion with the goalie.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
It's got to be.
Sense.
There's only one goal in the third period. Oh
no, Buffalo just scored.
Did they just put somebody else in?
He's learning from Huso.
No,
you got to give up 2. You got to give up at least 2.
But yeah, no. Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said on Patrick Kane. Real quick before we get into college football, wanted to quick preview the Lions and Bears game this weekend, and it'll be interesting to see what you guys say because I think we're all on the same wavelength as far as that goes. To me, it'll be interesting to see how things go after the first game. If they can't get the defense right, they may lose. I'm hoping for a better game plan on defense. And now that you've seen, and they did, the thing is, last year they did the same thing, right? Justin Fields kind of ran over him the first game. And then the second game, they kind of contained him more. I mean, he still got his yards in. But I'm hoping that they can kind of rein him in a little bit. I mean, Taysom Hill, he kind of ran on him too. So, You know, it's just I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like they're the announcers were like, oh, they just need to keep Taysom in. He's they know what they're gonna get with him. And it's like, well, he didn't. I don't even think he threw a pass.
He incompleted 2, I think, right?
I can tell you here in a second.
Well, either way.
No, he was 0 for 2.
Yeah, incomplete 2.
Oh,
Is what
yeah.
I said. With him too, I don't. When like to get to your point on that is they kept saying that, but I was like, the problem is that he's in so many different sets on their offense that I don't think they can just keep him at quarterback. I mean, dude's
Right.
out there at tight end, he's out there at wide receiver, he's at running back. Like it's like
Right.
He's an old school player, man. I don't really like Taysom Hill, but I do respect that he's just willing to play. He's willing to just play whatever. You know what I mean? He's like, just get me on the field. I like
Right.
that. I like that.
Right. Eddie, what do you got for this weekend?
Yeah, I would say a lot of the same. I mean, as I've said pretty much every week the last couple of weeks, you got to get pressure. I think you got to force Fields to do something. He's going to run out there and do it anyway. You got to force him to do it, and we just haven't been doing it. AG said last week he was addressing the needs for getting pressure off the edge. We only got 2 sacks against a non-mobile quarterback. You know, I don't know. So we'll see. If they're not better, we're gonna, like you were just saying, they're gonna leave Soldier with a loss. It just straight up. If you're not at least making Justin Fields have to make throws that are difficult, it's gonna be hard. Or he's gonna run, or he's gonna do what he did last time, and he's gonna end up salsa dancing all over us. And he'll do it again this time, especially if they're gonna win. You know, especially after all the memes.
Until it's a sure thing.
Yeah.
This time,
Oh yeah. I don't know. He might not care, honestly.
That's fair.
But yeah. So
it was a sweet.
You got to hit him hard. You got to hit him early. Whether that results in big plays for them, I think if you just get him, I think that'll pay dividends for at least the last 3 quarters.
Something.
So,
You got to do something.
Got to do it, man. Got to do it.
Can't keep rushing forward with Bruce Irvin on the outside.
I mean, it's just not working.
No, at all. Not at all.
Yeah, just Bruce Irvin.
Frustrating.
At
Bruce.
the beginning, I felt like we were working. I feel like something's. Is it because the Anzoli, whatever, the blonde
Anzalone.
The blonde hunk.
I mean, Jack Campbell was our 4th highest PFF graded defender this week. I thought he had a real nice game. He had a real nice game.
Is that his natural position?
For sure.
It worked out for
Do
him.
you guys know what the weather is in Chicago this Sunday?
I don't even want
I mean,
windy.
I mean, being that we play indoors, I don't know how much of a difference it makes for them. I would imagine it would make a difference because they're used to playing indoors.
It can make a huge difference.
I think it's supposed to be chilly. I know it was getting warm coming up to the warm here for this weekend. It was going to be like 50 on Thursday. And I think it was going to start like cooling off a little after that.
39.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 39 on Sunday with rain, snow showers.
See.
Ooh.
Oh, in Chicago?
Yeah.
That does not sound fun.
Rain,
39
rain and snow.
Buffalo just scored again. Yeah.
That'd be kind of gross.
Which kind of bodes well.
for us.
Yeah. Let Jared get out there and just run around and fling it.
I was thinking more limiting Justin Fields, but
okay. Jared's an indoor cat, wouldn't you say?
For sure.
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah. So
he's a litter box feline. No doubt.
He don't eat dry cat food. He likes the stuff out of a can.
Fancy feast for Jared, and that's it.
Dean, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you guys have said. I mean, I hope the Lions learned from their mistake the first game. Kind of, as Eddie said, they need to pressure Fields, regardless of if he's making plays scrambling, at the very least he's being pressured and having to make the play himself. Whereas if he's just jogging out because it's a designed rollout play, you know what I mean? Like they have to be on top of him they have to commit to it too. They can't just like sit back and like, oh, is he gonna run? Is he gonna run? Am I gonna go back and cover? They have to just pressure him, just go at him, make him make the throw. I think the offense, if they get up early again like they did before, they can't lean back. They need to keep the throttle down and just keep scoring. Get Laporta and St. Brown involved early and often, and play to your own strengths, especially since you said it's going to rain. Give the ball to Monty. He's a physical runner. Give it to Gibbs, screen passes, whatever, short plays that Goff can make. And I think they come out on top if they just play to those strengths, especially if it's raining and it's cold.
Right.
Good. That's good to hear. That'd be better for us with that weather.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they practice outside in Michigan, right? They don't practice all the time.
They probably have an outdoor facility. I mean, well, we went to their training camp outdoors.
That's
so.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see. Let's move on to real quick. Michigan wins the Big Ten championship for a third straight year on Saturday. Dominant fashion, 26-0. College football playoff came out. They'll play Alabama in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. And I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on it. I did watch the game. Defense played great. Offense, I don't know what to think of the offense. I think JJ plays well. I worry about the offensive line at times. But that defense is really what they're the dominant side of the ball this year. And that's why I have confidence in them playing Alabama and beating Alabama.
Be a great game. Besides the fear that they have to play Alabama.
No, that was so manufactured. Like,
what was? I didn't hear that.
But I get it. They're scared.
No, it was.
You mean the audible sound after Alabama was announced as the team?
Everyone. I mean, okay, so
the
obviously,
fear in the room.
Obviously, you'd rather play a third string quarterback FSU team, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that they left out Florida State, I think, is the main reason for that audible sound. I did the same thing. Yeah, well, dude, that's insane to me. And we'll get into it in a second, but yeah, no, great game. Back to back.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great for Michigan.
They were saying on ESPN today too, that Michigan, did you hear them in that hotel conference room? They sound so scared. So it
wasn't even, I don't even think it was the players. I think it was mostly just the people that were with them.
The people who are concerned for the players.
That's fine. Yeah.
Well, so much in our world, even reality TV, which sports is reality TV, it is manufactured a lot. So who knows?
Yeah, they probably piped that sound into the room. This is like Connor Stalions sound pipe. He's like, I'll get him again.
There's nothing about Alabama that they're not the same Alabama.
Oh yeah, no, Michigan's gonna stomp them.
I wouldn't say
no.
It's gonna be a great.
Michigan's
game.
favored to win.
I know.
So
as they should be, they're the number one team in the country.
They're saying it's the best matchup ever for this playoff. I saw that. Yeah, but next year we won't have to worry about all this, right? Because it'll be 12.
Be 12
for sure. If you don't make it in the top 12, then you really, they're like, all right, come on.
Right.
Right.
Like, just,
it should be the top 16.
you know,
All right,
like,
now we're-
you know, yeah. I mean, just dumb stuff.
Right. I'm
I
glad
think
that getting rid of this problem because I get it. I get both sides. I think they don't want to have like a situation where like Georgia and TCU last year, you know,
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that was embarrassing for TCU.
Right.
for sure.
And
And the team
other
that lost
folks.
to TCU.
it was a good game.
Was
It was a good game. That was a very good game.
Georgia
I liked-
TCU? I don't know if that
No,
was a good
Michigan.
game.
Michigan,
Oh,
Michigan
Yeah.
TCU.
we were at that game in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, I didn't enjoy that game actually. But that would have you would have thought been much more lopsided as well.
You would have thought
Right.
for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I don't think Michigan knew TCU would make the playoff, so they didn't have the signs ahead of time. So that made it difficult
No,
to prepare.
TCU knew. TCU knew. That's why they had the dummy sign.
Yeah.
They had their own
Like
stallions,
every
huh?
team.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Oh no, I kind of love the whole thing. I don't.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
entertaining.
It is.
Yes.
It is. We didn't have the signs for a couple teams this year.
For who?
I don't know. Maybe that game in East Lansing, the game in.
Oh, you didn't eat them for that one.
Yeah.
No, you did not.
No, I mean, if you didn't have the signs, we could have scored a field goal.
would've been
But
sweet.
since Stallions was there for the CMU game,
That wasn't him.
totally cut
That
us
was
off
never confirmed.
from our field
Never
goal.
confirmed. That was
You saw it.
Sonner
We scored one
Italians.
against OSU. They didn't have the signs. Penn State had the signs. Clearly.
That was not Connor Stallions. It came out there was a dude named Sonner Italians.
Stunner Italians.
That rat bastard made me eat a hard boiled egg.
True.
It's true. He made you.
All right. So, quick thoughts on Florida State being left out. Eddie.
I mean, I don't know. I got I guess fairly unpopular opinions on the whole thing. I don't know. I think it was great. They deserved to make it, right? And they did what they were supposed to do to make it. But I think at the end of the day, they definitely shouldn't be there. I just don't. I think Alabama, if they played Alabama, Alabama would whip the crap out of them right now. I think if they played Georgia,
Maybe?
Georgia would. I hope Georgia is fired up for this game and they just freaking take it to them. I want that so bad. I want
kinda
Georgia
it
to
the other
just
way
crush
around.
Florida State so hard. I
want
wish
it to be the
Georgia
other
was
way
in the
around.
playoff. I wish
think-
Alabama and Georgia were in the playoff. I think Texas should be out. Take
I
them
think
out.
it should have been. I
what
think
I
it
said,
should
too.
have. Definitely Georgia should have been in.
Yeah.
I think Georgia is the better team. I mean, what
I think
they
Georgia's
lost
the
by-
best team in the country for sure. And then after that, probably Bama. And then
Ah.
it's like Michigan, Washington, Texas.
Mm.
And that's
Vikings
a
say
scrum
Michigan's
for
best
third.
country.
I think that's a big scrum for third.
Michigan's
Because I think
best
either one of those teams could beat any of those teams. And I do think Michigan can beat Alabama. I think they would lose by 2 touchdowns to Georgia.
team.
I do. That's my opinion. I don't know. It's
Right,
probably
right,
wrong. I don't know.
right.
That's just what I think.
No, that's fine.
This is from
Everyone has their
yeah.
opinion.
I mean,
They,
Michigan could very well win and beat all those guys, and that also wouldn't surprise me, other than beating Georgia. like handily. If they could beat Georgia by more than 7 points, that would really surprise me. Other than that, not much does. But what I think is Georgia's the best team, and I think Alabama's probably the next best team, and then I think it's Michigan, and then Washington, Texas are about the same to me. But I think Michigan could beat both Washington, Texas. I think Washington, Texas could both also beat Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, they're there for a reason.
But
too.
I don't think Florida State can beat most of those in the top 10 right now. I think Ohio State would smoke Florida State.
Florida State's defense
right
is
now
really good.
But dude, they barely beat Louisville.
I think that's what helped.
Louisville stinks, dude.
I mean,
Louisville fell off.
Top 15.
Florida State beat LSU, right? That's like the big win. LSU lost 3 games this year. Alabama beat LSU by the same amount Florida State did when Florida State was at full strength. Okay, if Florida State saw their QB, I'm down. I'm like, okay, there's no question. It does make a difference. It makes a big difference. That kid's like really good.
Yeah.
You know, like where's USC without Caleb Williams? 3-win team?
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? They're not they deserve to make it. A lot of those guys deserve to make but as the team, they're not. They're not one of the 4 best teams.
What happened?
And that's my subjective opinion. But
so what happens if they beat Georgia?
Is Georgia playing their people? That again, if Georgia doesn't play their guys, then it's different. Florida State can't play their best guys.
Right.
They literally can't play the best player on their team. At the most important position on the team.
It's true. And they lost their second quarterback too. Right.
I'm like, I don't know why we had to hold the 4 just because it's the last year we're doing it. Make it a 6. Who cares?
Right.
Like, just put them in. Put Florida State in. Let them get crushed by somebody. Then we could be like, okay, it's over.
My only thing, though, was, I mean, Alabama was a 4th and goal on the 32 away from having 2 losses. If he hadn't, I mean, Florida State beat Louisville. And Louisville's better than Auburn.
Are they right now? I wouldn't put money on Louisville to beat Auburn. I wouldn't put actual cash on it.
Well, I mean,
because who'd Louisville lose to last week? I don't know if
you've seen your record this year, but sounds like Auburn loses that game.
They did. Who did Louisville lose to the week before?
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky sucks. They were good at the beginning of the year, and then they played good teams, and then they got beat.
All I'm saying is
and then Louisville got beat by them.
Alabama was only up. They were tied with USF 3-3 at halftime.
Didn't Alabama run Kentucky out of the room?
That doesn't matter. Why would that matter?
Because you're just saying Louisville only lost to Kentucky.
Right. But I'm also saying that Auburn, who's 5-6
in the SEC, and that's a serious rivalry too. I mean,
yeah. So
they're not going to be up for a game more than that.
And they have beaten Thorne. Okay.
True.
They almost beat them. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that's why I also think Alabama, like I said, they're not the same Alabama as they have been in previous years. That's why I'm not too worried. Like, I'm not saying that Michigan's going to stomp them, but I have confidence that they can beat Alabama.
They can. They can.
I mean, obviously, Alabama can beat Michigan, so it is what it is. Anybody else have thoughts?
I do have horrible memories of 2015. I went to the Cotton Bowl of MSU in Alabama.
Oh,
in Texas. Oh, it was not too bad at halftime, but
way to
Yeah.
sugarcoat it a little bit. It wasn't too bad at halftime.
so now you've had that memory.
It'll
I'm
be
like,
better than that for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Mark
Yeah.
Ingram
Oh,
isn't there
maybe.
anymore.
Sure. Yeah, Mark
Maybe.
Ingram's not there anymore. Yeah, that guy's a
You know,
tank.
I would say the last thing, the only way I think they could have made it fair and have FSU in is that they had taken Michigan out, because they're the only team with like scandals and NCAA investigations. It's the only team that's going to have an asterisk next to this season. I think that's the best way they could have done it, is Washington, Texas, FSU, and Bama, and then just moved Michigan right out.
they just
Slide MSU in there real quick.
They got the strength of schedule. No kidding. I mean, there's a case for that.
Yeah. I'm sure that was one of the options for the committee.
I mean, that would have been crazy. I don't know. I just wanted to see what Bill was going to do, but he was too good about it.
there is a case for it. I was actually surprised that they put him at number 1 and not put Washington at number 1.
I don't know, dude. I mean, that was the right call. It was the right call. Okay. Serious and all serious, I think this was the right set. If you can only pick 4, this is probably the right set, and you could have moved Georgia in instead of Bama.
I was gonna say I was probably, if I felt like if anyone got screwed, beside, I mean, you're right. They're probably not one of the top 4 teams, but like, to be an undefeated Power 5 conference champion and be left out, it's
crappy.
That just doesn't sit well with me. But next year,
if they played
not
Louisville
matter.
again, they could lose to Louisville next week if they played again. None of the other teams would lose to Louisville.
Maybe
if they played 4 times in a row. I think none of those other teams.
I don't know if you've seen Michigan's offense lately.
It doesn't matter. Louisville could only score 6. I think Michigan's defense is at least as good as Florida State's.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is Michigan's offense hasn't been great lately, which worries me. But
Michigan would beat them.
They have 3 weeks
by 2 touchdowns.
I mean, the last time a Michigan team played Louisville, we won a national championship.
Yeah.
They didn't show up, I guess. So, anywho, let's get into a little bit of health and fitness.
Oh,
right up Dodie's out. She's like, finally.
No, not at all. No.
It's like, I wish you fatties would shut up.
No,
Fair enough.
the Red Wings just won. Just so you know, the Red Wings won 5-3.
Yeah, they did. Yep. Yeah, they scored. It was 4-3 for a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So,
Lion needs to get out of there.
Put Reimer in.
Yeah.
You know, I've been going to some Griffins games real quick before we get into it. I've been going to some Griffins games and I've been watching Kosa play. I've been to 3 games this year and Kosa's played in 2. And goalie. And there's a reason why he's down there. He's got some work to do.
There's a reason why we carry 3 on the main roster and he's not one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some work to do. He's not bad. I mean, he played a pretty good game the other night. Edvinson, he's kind of been a bully. I like it. He's
a big dude, man.
Yeah, he's a big dude. And then the night we were there, Bergen got called back down so he played that night too, which was kind of cool.
That's cool.
But anyways, health fitness, something that everyone here in male form could probably listen to.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Wanted to talk to you about first off, what I have on here is we have the holidays coming up. Well, we're in the holidays now. Winter, things like that. You're not outside as often. You know, still you can still do stuff, but for a lot of people like myself, you know, I work a lot of hours, don't get to go out. When I get home, dog tired, whatever.
Right.
So, what is I know eating healthier helps, but what's a good way to prevent like weight gain during the holidays, winter? Like, is it even possible?
Put down the fork.
Great tip.
It's rough. I think about growing up there. I honestly think we do just put on a bit of a layer for hibernation or to stay warm.
All year long.
Indeed.
I
In the
do.
summer.
Try to stay warm in the summer also.
Yeah, sometimes.
Extra warm.
Yeah. I mean, we are animals, mammals. I mean, dogs start shedding their fur when it's coming into summer, and so I think that it does happen, and I think it's good to be gentle and kind to your body, and allow for that to happen, mildly at the winter time, because I think it's natural. I mean, I remember even as a kid, like third grade, I definitely would fluctuate from summer to coming off the winter with my clothes.
I was
Mhm.
gonna say, like, because like, you know, in California, I would assume obviously it's probably a lot better weather in the winter than it would be like here in the Midwest, Northeast. You know, those things where you're not kind and gentle to your body, you know. So so yeah, I didn't like what are some good tips for trying to prevent putting a second layer.
Okay, too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a nice little first layer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that I do recommend, and this can get you through holiday eating as well, it's a very simple method, is your plate. When you fill up your plate, half your plate should be filled with veggies. And then
You lost me.
a quarter could be the protein, a quarter can be the carbohydrate. So that's a really simple method. Kind of like last time we talked about whole foods and packaged foods. Like that's a simple method too. Like stick to whole foods Monday through Friday. Maybe have the convenience food on the weekend. So that's a simple way to get through this time of the year. Just making your plate that way. I would say 6 days a week for weight loss, 5 days a week, or you can be a little more lenient if you're just maintaining. If you say you're going to do 6 days a week, so it will probably be 5. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
well, I think for 6, but that's just a real good, because vegetables are fillers and they're very low calorie, full of fiber, great for your intestines to keep the intestine healthy. And we're discovering how important that is for our overall health, including healthy weight, healthy heart, healthy skin, healthy mentally. I mean, a lot. The intestine is like the ruler of the body. It's so important, you know, kind of like our hormones are really important too. Like we change just with the hormone change, you know,
Right.
the person. So vegetables feed those bacteria and feed the good guys. We have good and bad in our system, but the vegetables really feed the good guys so they can ward off too many of the bad guys with the bacteria. So that is a simple method. Just every plate you make, especially lunch, dinner, you know, breakfast a little hard because a lot of people don't have vegetables for breakfast. You could have it with
Right.
like some eggs. But you know, carbs aren't bad. It's just we don't need the whole half of our plate filled with carbs, higher carb foods. Vegetables
Right.
technically are carbs as well, but they're just super low in the amount of carbs they have. So
What-
that's a good secret.
What
Nice.
what do you do for someone who, like Dean, for example, like would deconstructing a Whopper and putting the lettuce and tomato and onion on the veggie side and then the meat and the bun on the other, would that work?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Does he really do this?
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
But I'm saying if you wanted to start eating healthy, would it work?
Could I buy a Whopper and just
Deconstruct it.
Hey, but
yes.
using less preservatives.
Yes. I love the question
Mm.
because you think, oh, can this really happen? Yes. Because think technically the meat, the Whopper is what, a quarter pound of meat
Dude.
on the Whopper?
I don't know. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And
Probably.
Yeah,
would
it's
say so.
close.
then you've got a Whopper has 2 buns or 3?
No, just 2.
Okay,
That's
2,
right,
not like a
sorry.
Big Mac.
Right.
So you got 2 there. And then lettuce, tomato, onion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd want that plate to be more filled, you know.
Right.
It's technically you have 2 buns there. So that's technically 2 carbs, but it could kind of pass because they both fit there. But then, you know, if someone gets the fries too, that's all on the carbs.
Plus the butter.
Plus the side of
Oh,
onion
no,
rings he bought.
Just, yeah,
The onion
Just me
rings
with
and
the-
the carbs.
just me with the butter. Huh?
Three
Don't
things of
forget his
ranch.
spicy chicken wrap that he on the side.
That's
It's a wrap
honestly-
though, so it's good.
It's good for me.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. But I think, you know, the meal deals at the fast food places, you know, we just think, oh, this is put together, this is what to eat. But it is a lot of carbs. You got the bun and the bun. That's 2 carbs, 2, it's like eating 2 slices of bread. Then you got the fries, and that's a couple more carbs in there. So what JP and I do sometimes, you know, if we're having an on day, like we were in Vegas and we saw Nathan's fries or Nathan's hot dogs. I mean, do you
Mhm.
know that place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best fries, like crinkle cut.
Mhm.
And we really were craving some fries, and it was still our on day. We weren't on cheat day. And I said, let's get a salad and we get fries and then we share. So the salad has the chicken, and then we put just a little dressing on, and then the carbs are our fries. Instead of normally a person would get, you know, a hot dog or a sandwich and the fries, and that's carbs. But we just really won the fries.
Right.
So, and we won the chicken for protein on the salad. So see how we filled our plate up with tons of veggies, and then we shared the fries, and we had the chicken to share too.
So, what would you, without giving away too much, because I know you have your website and everything else, but like, how do I put this? So, how would you say, like, for Dean and I, we drive a lot for work, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, you know, most days are for me, most days. Some days, I would say probably half the week I pack a lunch, but the other, I would say 2 to 3 days I don't. So would you, as far as like, we'll use the example of a Whopper, right? Say if I went and I was like, well, I need to get something to eat, and I want to do it quick, and that would be, in my mind, the Whopper is probably healthier than most like fast food sandwiches, only because well, I mean, like,
They're using less
seriously, I mean,
preservatives
when you look at like double cheeseburgers and you look at like, I don't know, like a Frisco Mel or whatever, when you look at a Whopper, like it does have vegetables like pickles, onions, lettuce, tomato. I don't eat tomato, but if you were to take off the bun, like just have it without, and now you have the hamburger with the vegetables. And obviously there's mayo too.
I was gonna say, are you leaving the egregious amount of mayo that Burger King puts on everything?
But I mean, it's obviously not the healthiest thing in the world, but like you could pass that off for a meal.
Yeah. Right? That's what these stores were made for in the first place. Like our fast food joints, they were made when the women's movement started coming about, and the women weren't home cooking all the time anymore. And so we needed fast, convenient food. So that's what it's for. And, it's not for every day. It's for, once in a while, yes, or a treat. And I see nothing wrong with even having just one of the buns being gone and keeping one bun, because that is a carb. You need carb. Carb is energy.
Right.
So,
Whoppers 5 days a week, one bun.
Well, let me see. That would be 80. That'd be 400 less calories a week, which would be,
That's quite a bit.
I would give you a couple pounds a year loss just doing that.
I appreciate you trying to work the math to help us out here.
Well, there's 3,500 calories in a pound.
Right.
So 480 times 5 is 400, right? So 400 less a week and 52. 400 times 52, whatever that is. To something.
Yeah, 2,000 something.
So you divide that by 3,500. It would be a couple of pounds a week just by making that change. Right. See, and that's worth it.
Right.
It's like, it's daily things, and of course once a week or whatever, let loose a little bit. Even during the holidays, it's still daily things like, taking a quick walk, even while you're on the phone instead of just sitting there. Or before we all got on together, I was, doing some weightlifting while I watched the Red Wings. That's what I do. That's my date with myself. Every day the Red Wings are playing, or the Pistons, or the Tigers. I don't do it for the Lions. I have full focus on the Lions.
For sure.
They only play once a week, but other games are like every day,
I do the same.
Yeah.
Full focus on the Lions are on. No working out.
No working out.
Not during that time.
During the Lions. Our mission usually either, but I just, I do like to watch each game, like, because like every day, like, so I work out while I'm doing it, and I do my little, usually I find my workouts in Men's Health magazine, actually. And I'm still sore from the one I led JP through on Saturday. Oh my gosh, so sore. And the Red Wings, they were both on, and they kept playing. And JP is like, "Put this darn game done."
Oh man. Hey, I did have a question for you about something I had read about a program. People were talking about like the 30 within 30 followed by 30, like 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up, followed by 30 minutes of like light cardio type of thing. They said it's a really good like fat burning, like it's really good physiologically. I don't know. And I didn't know if that was something you were aware of or thoughts. It's just some kind of popular thing I saw.
Yeah, I'm aware of that concept. It's even would be preferably, I think, a little better to not even have protein before going to do your morning workout, because then you're totally going into your reserves, which is your fat storage on your body. So then you're going to be
I have none of those, so that's a problem.
No reserves.
I have zero
my
reserves.
body to run on.
but that's the concept that they're going with, though, because you're eating, low carb, and carb is our gas. Carb is our fuel. So if you were to eat first thing in the morning, orange juice, say, or drink orange juice, which is carb, and then go out and take a walk, your body's burning the orange juice as gas, fuel, energy. But if you were to wake up, not have that orange juice, your body's going to the fat because it didn't have that sugar just in it. It's going to go to your fat, as you've just been fasting all night, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So
that 3 a.m. ham sandwich isn't paying off.
Keep a jar of frosting next to my bed.
So you don't think that 30 grams of protein right away, like if you woke up, you had like a protein shake, like a 30-gram protein shake, and then you went out and walked for 30 minutes.
That's better than the carbs for weight loss and fat burning. Yes. For someone who's trying to gain weight, no, that wouldn't be good. But for bodybuilding, that they have
you'd want that juice.
Every morning you want to go without even eating and do an hour, not even with the protein, nothing. But for someone who can't do that without having something in their system, protein be the best choice because it's protein, not carb. Even though our body is pretty sophisticated, it can change protein into carb, into sugar for energy, but it takes longer.
Gotcha.
So yeah, if you could do it without that protein, that would be even better.
Like for I have building muscle.
Yeah, even for that, because that's what their main thing is going to be with that argument, that they're putting protein in so that your body will spare the muscle. But I would still rather see someone like maybe do it on an empty stomach with like a little collagen or something, less than 50 calories. Depending on how much the shake is, usually protein shakes that are just protein, no carb, are usually about 100-ish. So it's enough calories to kind of offset that fasting mode where your body thinks it doesn't have fuel. Even though it is protein, it's still, your body's sophisticated enough to change it over.
What are your thoughts on fasting, period?
Intermittent fasting, this actually is going to bring up with the holiday question. That's a great way to get through this time of the year, and a great way to vacation too, I think. Like when there's a lot of food and a lot of eating opportunities, like choosing to fast 16 hours to even just 14 hours, trying to keep yourself from eating during the time. So usually what I'll do is I'll like push my breakfast off till later in the morning, like 11:30 is usually when I eat breakfast. There's a lot of evidence also that your gut needs some time to rest and rehab, and the microflora need time to to rehabilitate. So 13 hours is about the amount of time they need to have that rest period. And if we're constantly having them work, it's not the best for them to replicate the good guys. So I recommend, 5 days a week, trying to get 13 hours would be ideal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered about that because obviously, there's people who live by it, and then there's people who are like, this is not good. So like I tend to be on the side of it is good for you, like you just said. I think Dean, I think you pretty much do that.
Yeah, I do that now.
And you look great.
I mean, over the last 2 years, I've lost 50 pounds. So
Oh, wow. From doing that?
yeah, just
Yeah.
stuck to that. And I mean, now I just hover around the same weight, but I'm also very not very strict on it when it's weekends.
Well,
start eating during my non-eating hours. You know what I mean?
Well, she did say five days a week though too.
Yeah.
And then I usually just go right back down to my
Yeah.
hovering weight.
It's an easy way to do it. And I feel like men like easier, like more like just not real complicated things. It's like pretty simple. Don't eat from this time to this time. Like that's it. There's no like, what do I eat? Da da da. All this stuff.
Yeah.
Just that to that simple rule. No, and or less than 50 calories is another thing. Like I put a little almond milk in my coffee during my fast, and it's no sugar added in it, so it's very little calories.
Cheating.
Yeah, it makes you it makes you release a lot of HGH as well, human growth hormone. The fasting you release. Did you not know that?
No.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, a lot higher. Like, and HGH is what we produce quite in great amounts when we're teens. So back in the day when we used to see each other a couple times a year, so keeps our skin nice and hair and muscle. So it makes us produce that at much greater level. The reason why is because kind of like how when we weight lift, we're actually tearing our muscle, right? If we're tearing the muscle fibers so they can rebuild bigger. So it's a similar concept with fasting, intermittent fasting. You're putting your cells through stress. So your cells like, oh, are we going in a fast? Are we in a famine? What's going on? So your cells start cleaning out debris and junk, and the mitochondria gets even stronger because they're thinking they're coming to some stress. And then when you feed it, it's like, no. So that's the whole premise. You're actually making the cells stronger.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's proof for it. For someone who's trying to gain weight, like gain muscle and stuff, it's not the best way. I was reading about that for like bodybuilding. Is it better to eat like lots of times during a day or to do the intermittent fasting? And for someone trying to gain weight, gain muscle, it would be better to do the lots of times during the day, even though they're going to be gaining a little bit of fat from all that too, but still you'll gain more muscle. Even you're going to gain fat regardless. When you're gaining, you're going to gain muscle and fat. It can't be all muscle, it can't be all fat. You'll gain both. And then if you're losing, you're going to lose both too. Regardless, it's just percentage wise how much you're gaining and losing of the two.
Need to weight gain, that's for sure.
Most people don't. I hope I explained that good, Eddie. Like the if you were to have a say 150 calorie protein shake, completely protein, but I think they do have a little carbs in it. But your body is, like I said, sophisticated that it will change it into carbs instead of using the fat on your body. But you will gain more muscle probably because you had that protein, but you'll maybe have a little higher fat percentage. You'll have a little more fat on your body. Whereas if you go do the cardio without anything, your body's going straight to your fat, but you will burn some muscle too, a little bit, but you'll probably lose more fat. So I guess
would it be beneficial to have the protein after?
Oh yes, absolutely, 100%. 100.
So you would burn fat and then also help provide sustenance for the muscle?
Right.
Okay.
After doing it after, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys knew, I did bodybuild for a while.
Yeah.
Before the COVID. And so that was essential. As soon as morning cardio was done from the fast, an hour at this certain heart rate, which is nothing. It's like 120 to 130.
Yeah.
It's not even that hard. Because you don't want to go too high, because if you go too high intensity, you're burning a lot of muscle. So that you're actually, I think we discussed this, didn't we? You're actually burning more fat at more the rapid walking than like high intensity stuff. But you just do it longer for the hour. And then right after breakfast, right away, 6 egg whites with a half cup of oatmeal was my breakfast daily. Because that's pure protein of the egg whites, no fat, and healthy fiber carbs with the oatmeal.
What do you substitute for egg whites?
Egg beaters, maybe. I mean, it's still egg whites, but they taste like eggs.
He hates eggs.
Oh, okay. You could do chicken, light white chicken. You could do
chicken.
White
Chicken good.
fish.
I love the fried variety too.
What if you like air fried some cheese and pepperoni on that chicken? Or still good? Or
no, that I never thought of it instead of substituting eggs, because like a lot of like
all protein,
I see
man.
a lot of the diet stuff that I see, it's a lot of egg whites. It's a lot of that, and I'm always just like, I don't like eggs, and I've never really even thought about like what a substitute would be. So
white fish. If it's a whole egg, then that's a little bit different than egg whites. Egg whites are very lean. So it'd be like eating a white chicken breast or white fish, like cod, white turkey. All the light white meats are all in the same category. So you can exchange those, and they're all the same about calories and fat grams.
perfect.
Nice.
That was one benefit I had as a bodybuilder, because I knew all that science. And a lot of times bodybuilders feel so like, oh, I just have to eat the same thing every day. But I could even go to a restaurant and I knew that this would substitute for this. They're the same. I know they're the same carbs. I know it's the same. So that was helpful that I had that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it kept life, because I think you gotta have fun in life while you eat. Believe me. I don't want to eat
too much fun.
Yeah, too much fun.
A little too much.
I have a lot of fun too, believe me. So all in all, the whole premise of that conversation, main thing is half of your plate with veggies, even if it's deconstructed.
Deconstructed
Full
Whopper.
circle. First circle.
Awesome.
Nice work.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's always good to have this segment, because if anything for myself, but I mean anyone who listens, I mean, you know what I mean? I would assume some people that watch this, whoever that be, they could use that information as well. So
you know who you are.
I watch this every day.
I'm listening to myself.
Talking to yourself.
I know who I am.
So real quick, our last segment, is we started the mascot game or team name game,
Mm.
and since you're
Still
out in
doing this
California-
game?
Yeah, you're darn right we are. In honor of you being in California, we are going to do the
Mhm.
Pac-12.
Oh, okay.
So what we do is I name the school. Like last week, it was, we'll say, Marshall, and it was the Thundering. Like you had to guess the Thundering Herd, or Troy. They're the Trojans. So it was a real tougher. It was a lot tougher last week. So this week's a little bit easier. It'll be interesting to see one. I think these two will get pretty much all of them, but there's one
Probably.
on there. So, okay. So, do you have something to write down with?
Let me go get something.
Okay.
This is a pen.
I love my pen. My pen goes with me.
I also.
I don't trust Dean. That's the thing. Dean changes answers like crazy. Trust me.
Okay.
I've seen
Okay.
it.
So, you got the gist of the game? Pretty easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I write down the mascot,
Yes.
right? Mhm.
Okay. Ready?
Yep, I'm
Wa-
ready.
Washington.
There's one you know that you don't know. Was this it? There's no way.
Is this
Okay.
one?
Next one, if you're ready. Oregon.
The Mighty Ducks. Oh,
It's a fine, I think.
Oh
All
no.
right.
trying to throw people off with Mighty.
All right. Next. You guys just tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Arizona.
The Mighty.
Ready.
Last week, Dean put Panthers like 3 times.
I did. And
Okay.
I put Bulldogs down twice.
The Dogs.
The dogs.
Next up, Oregon State. Next up, Utah. Dean's like, no.
I know.
So
it.
when we do the answers, you go Dean, Dodie, then me.
I feel like what we should do is you should have separate pieces of paper, and then
Oh,
I mean, I
yeah.
could show you what I have written.
no,
I can hold it up like I did Mountaineers last week when you guys
I'm
didn't
not-
believe me.
when you switched it.
I wrote down Panthers.
How could I
3
have
times.
switched it? I read it
how-
in
why-
writing pen.
How am I cheating? I got 2
Okay.
right last
Everybody
week.
knows you're cheating.
You're cheating. You got 4 right.
You're cheating.
He actually got 6 right.
Yeah.
I got 6.
Cheater. Cheater.
All right, next up, USC. All right, next one, UCLA. The next one, California. Let me know when you're ready.
Mhm.
Washington State. Next up, Arizona State. Next up, Colorado. And the last one, Stanford. Dean's thinking.
I'm trying to think of Utah as well.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I
put the
can't
Jazz
imagine I have one wrong.
You might.
Wow.
In the last
You
I'm
think
actually-
I do. I think I know what you're thinking.
Stanford.
Okay.
I do. I really think I know what you're thinking.
I mean, that's fair because I think it's the only one that would be controversial, but it's not controversial.
I mean, there might be 3, I think, that could like throw you off a little. And I'm not even including Utah for Dean.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Washington is. Oh, wait.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Haha. She's
Go
holding
first.
it up. She's got proof.
Oh,
I've got
yeah.
Alright.
proof.
We'll
I just-
go.
Where's your proof,
Well-
Dean?
We'll go. You answer it, Dean, Dodie, Eddie.
Okay.
Huskies.
That's correct.
Huskies, he said.
Yep.
Well, you can't say it's correct before we answer.
Oh, my bad.
I said Cougars.
Ooh.
That is incorrect.
I said Huskies also. Now that I
That
know
is
for
correct.
sure.
Okay.
I could have Huskies scratched out, but I was like, no, it's the Cougars. Whoops.
Oh man.
I know.
Okay.
I know what you're thinking.
Oregon.
Ducks.
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 That is correct.
We all know that one.
The Mighty Ducks.
I swear to God. Oh, yeah. You gave it away. Arizona.
Wildcats.
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 That's correct.
Yay.
Oregon State.
Beavers.
Oh, I put Pelicans. I was just.
I also have Beavers.
It is Pelicans. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, what? No, there's no shot.
No, it's the Beavers. It's the Beavers. It's the Beavers. It's the Beavers.
Beavers.
What if it was? It's just like, oh, God.
That would be
Um,
such a mind blow that I don't know if I could handle it.
All right, we'll come back to this one.
Oh.
USC.
Oh. Trojans.
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 Correct. UCLA.
Bruins.
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 I figured you get pretty much all the California ones right.
Let's hope on the next one.
Cal. University of California.
Golden Bears.
Oh, I wrote Bears.
I put Golden Bears also.
It is the Golden Bears.
Whoops. Half point.
I'll give you, I'll give you half point. Washington State.
The Cougars.
This is right for Huskies.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yes,
Oh,
Cougars.
I knew
you
it.
switched
I knew
them.
Oh man!
Right there.
Yep.
Same state, right?
What is
Animals. I had
That's-
Cougars.
Another Michigan State game. I was trying to go back to the Holiday Bowl in 2018
Oof. Yeah, somewhere in
in
there.
San Diego.
Because Mike Leach was still the coach.
I went to
That's amazing.
that, and it was Washington. They're playing one of the schools, right? Because I remember their purple mascot.
Mm,
That would have been Washington.
yeah, for sure.
The
This is purple
Huskies,
for
right?
sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I had them reversed.
All right. Arizona
Dang.
State.
Sun Devils.
Sun Devils.
Sun Devils.
Colorado. That is correct, by the way.
Buffalo.
The Buffs. Buffalo.
Buffaloes.
Technically, it is the Buffaloes.
Oh dear.
3/4
But I will give it. I will give it to you guys.
What? This game
It
is
the
rigged,
Buffalo.
man.
It's not like I said the Thunder.
I have the
Buffalo.
S on here and everything.
Did
This
you-
is a
it
plural
OE
buffaloes.
Is it OES?
Yes.
Ooh.
But I have Buffalo OE.
I have
I just spelled Buffalo wrong.
Okay. Utah.
The Utes.
Oh, that is right, isn't it?
Yeah.
The
Is
Utes.
that right?
Yeah,
I
that's-
put
That's
Coyotes,
right.
I think.
That's right. What a
What'd you
turd.
Good.
Wait, what'd you put?
Coyotes is what I put.
Nope.
Oh, well, I
It
have
is the
Utes.
Utes.
So
That is
you.
correct.
It's the Utes.
Good job.
Okay. Stanford.
Panthers.
I put trees.
Oh, it's Cardinal.
Oh,
It is Cardinal.
darn it.
No
Because
S.
hey, there is, to your point, they have like a mascot that's a tree.
Right.
But
In
the
the logo.
cardinal is, it's not the bird, it's the color. That's the team name. That's why it's just Cardinal. not Cardinals.
Ah,
That makes sense.
yeah, because that's another Rose Bowl. Michigan State against Stanford.
Yeah.
2014?
50.
14.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went to that, and the tree was
Oh.
dancing all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I remember that one. Okay.
Mm.
So Dean went.
I'm not missing
11.
another one here on out, Bill. I'm telling you right now.
Well,
No
you've been
shot.
probably studying.
He searched the conferences and pre-wrote all of them down. That's
Oh, I mean, that's not true.
whatever- whatever.
He's got
kidding me?
flashcards.
Pac-12 for the
He's got
Pac-12.
flashcards.
I'm just studying all day.
Like Aiden, give me a college.
Dude, the Sun Belt was the only one.
That was tough. I could see myself in trouble with the WAC. Or is that even a conference anymore?
That's not even a conference.
It was.
It was, for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that was a fun little. Yeah, I like that game, especially being the one that just asked the teams. So
JP wanted me to share with you his present he got for his birthday this weekend at that party we went to.
Ooh.
Because he heard us doing our trivia. You would like this.
Oh.
oh, nice.
And it's
Is
got
that
all
Oh, it's a card game?
it has all these questions in here. Like
Oh,
trivia.
that would be
Oh,
fun.
that's
Oh
sweet.
my gosh.
So we were playing a little bit at our 2 a.m. hours of adult.
Oh my
debauchery.
gosh. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Oh, that'd be fun to
Yeah,
do.
this is fun. Have a couple
You
of
know-
drinks. Yeah, some Detroit questions.
Next
Yeah.
time,
What's
you're
that first
on,
one say right there?
okay.
Hey, give me a taste.
Former Lions running back Jockey Bell.
Joik.
Joik. Joik
Joik.
Bell.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Played against
you're
him in
good.
high school, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Won the
Oh, yeah.
2009 Harlan Hill Trophy after rushing for 2,084 yards and 29
Easy.
touchdowns.
I already know the answer.
What Division II school?
Yeah.
On 3? Oh, yeah. We all
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wayne
yeah.
State.
Wayne
Wayne
State.
State.
Yeah, let's
Wayne
do it.
State. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys would have killed it because none of us knew that.
I was like, as soon as you said he rushed for that many yards, I'm like, I know it wasn't with the Lions. It was
No.
at college, baby.
Ready for the
And,
practice squad.
and even though he was slightly discourteous,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. We met him again.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could tell
We
he
met him.
remembered me from back in high school, the way he looked at me.
the way he looked at me.
Yeah, he thought you were me for sure.
Yeah,
And then he thought he was
There's
me.
no way he'd remember me from high school. No shot.
You would have had to have been good.
That's true.
What
yeah, we met.
high school did he go to?
Benton Harbor.
Okay. And you guys played them?
Yep.
Okay. Was that like playoffs?
No.
Mm-mm.
They were in our conference for a few years.
Hmm. Okay, wow.
Yep.
I remember
Mhm.
my dad like really liking your guys' football and
We were
wanting
sweet.
to go and watch you guys and stuff.
Yeah, we had some
Yeah.
good times. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, your
Yeah, it was always
teams
cool.
your teams did pretty well. And you guys were pretty good, weren't you? And my dad always said that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of our teams are better than other ones. But
Yeah, Dean's was a state championship team.
Wow.
My team was the
I
worst of the
know.
3.
Okay.
that's
And
Yeah,
this
we were
was
good.
Mount Pleasant?
Marshall.
No, Marshall.
Marshall.
Oh, Marshall. You guys went to Marshall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marshall was, that's a great school. That's just a great town.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad is so cute. So, all girls. So I was the
Yeah.
first one that was the cheerleader in 7th grade. And our first game was away against Northwest Jackson.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
my dad drove all the way up there to watch the very first 7th grade football game for his daughter cheerleading. He was the only one there in the stands.
Just like,
Except
woo!
Oh my gosh.
Except for one guy who actually, you know, he was friends with my dad from the church, but he did end up showing up. His son was in my class. But so cute. Like, I'm like, my dad came to watch
Aw.
me. How cute is that? You know, he didn't have his son on the
I don't know.
team, but he still supported
mean-
the cheerleading.
Eddie
Yeah.
has a daughter that
I've been to a
cheerleads
lot of
and-
cheer games just to see
Yeah.
the cheerleaders.
That's so good.
Hey man, I mean, she's out there doing her thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And
Yeah.
and my dad really enjoyed watching the boys play the football, and then he ended up coaching those guys, you know, because my
Oh, yeah.
class. Mm-hmm. So, well,
That's
I
awesome.
love that. I hope I get to meet your children again. I do love children, so
Well, you
Heck
saw the
yeah.
one.
yeah, she likes
Yeah.
to get on. She's a little ham.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ham to say the least.
Yeah. She's great. So,
Half turkey, half ham.
next time you're on, you're gonna have the game and you're gonna ask us trivia.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
that'd
like
be cool.
that.
That'd be fun.
And then you got to give us another health segment, and you're just gonna run the show. That's pretty much. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that will do it for this week's episode. Thank you, Dodie, for joining us tonight. We appreciate you coming back on, and hopefully you will come back on soon. Thank you to everyone for watching and listening. Dodie, if you want to again let people know what your website is, so that if they want to join or if they have any questions for you.
Yes, it is nutrition, the number 4 men.com. Nutritionformen.com. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Again, thank you. And if you want to be a sponsor, I mean, just feel free.
There you
Oh.
go.
Yeah, there it is.
No, thank you so much. And again, thank you everyone for watching and listening. And we will see you next week. Have a good one.
Sports talk.